If you've been watching the channel a while, you know that I really love the Marvel Epic collections. These are like 400 or 500 page chunks of Marvel history, and they cover basically the 60s through the 90s. They now do modern Epic collections, which I'm a little less thrilled about. But they give you full runs of great books like Amazing Spider-Man, Avengers, Fantastic Four, and so on. It's been nice. I've read actually books that I never read as a kid because I'm able to afford them now and grab them. I read all of the Silver Surfer, which was something I never checked out before, and I was just like, "Wow, this is so freaking good." I can't believe I'd never checked it out before. It's excellent science fiction. That's a line that really impressed me. Daredevil was another one that I read all the way through, and a lot of enjoyable stuff that just kind of got lost to history. Same with Incredible Hulk. Now, when I was a kid, I was, what I could collect was Spider-Man and Captain America and Fantastic Four. So I also get to relive some of those and get to reread a lot of the stories that I read back in the day. It's a really nice thing, and it's like one of the few bright spots in Marvel, as like, of course, the current Marvel line is nearly unreadable because they've just changed everything into skin suits of what these creators originally did. But you get this entire history. It's really great. I have every single volume that's come out. I think there's 300 or 400 of them at this point. They've really been cranking them out and doing a great job making sure their entire history and library is collected in this stuff. So DC Comics is not as good at their collected edition department as usual, and they are notorious for starting and stopping different things. They had a little line of some Silver Age and Golden Age stuff that they did Epic collection size books on for a little bit, as well as the omnibuses, and then they kind of abandoned that line as well. But they started a new one called DC Finest, and it aims to do what the Epic Collection is going to do. I hope they stick with it. I'll be very, very mad if they don't at this point because I decided to go all in on it and collect it like I did the Epic Collections and, of course, ditch my old omnibus collection and the like. And the first couple of them came out, and I've been able to read a couple, so I can talk to you about what's going on with them and how it looks like compared to the Epic Collections today. So smash that like and subscribe button, everybody. Please join us here as we talk about all things in comics. Really appreciate you for being there and really appreciate you helping grow our channel. We're over 7,000 subscribers on here, which I never expected actually this to get this successful. I'm a comic creator myself. My name's John Delarose, and I would love for you to check out my Emerald Array graphic novel while you're at it. This is a 66-page graphic novel. I was banned from Kickstarter because the mainstream industry does not like my my commentary here on YouTube. They actually mass reported me. Some people from DC Comics did it because they didn't like that I am very successful here, as you can see, and that I'm competing with them because my books are frankly just better than anything on the stands, and they don't want that competition. They're a very insular industry. And so I'm actually doing this here. It's a Space Marine graphic novel, and as you can see, we are bringing it back. Our art style is intentionally like the classics, like you're going to read about in DC's Finest or in the Epic Collections, because I actually like the way that art looked back in the day better than I like it now. I like that way storytelling was, where it was just complete adventures, where you could read an issue and get a story. That's what we're doing here. So you can see we've got a lot of Jack Kirby influence, and of course, this is a beautiful, beautiful science fiction story. This is one of my favorite panels right here. It looks so freaking good. And it's a Space Marine team that's fighting against demonic bug monsters who are attacking a colony. It is a high-tea action adventure. It's a full male Space Marine unit. This is something you would have read in the 70s or 80s, and you can't read it anymore. So check it out, guys. If you like the classics, this is going to be for you. Back our books. Support independent comics, guys. We're almost to 300 backers, and we can get there with your help. Thank you so much. All right. So, as mentioned, I've been collecting these for a long time. The most recent one I read was the most recent Generation X one called Pride and Penance, which was not the best. It was okay. At least the 90s, you get into some fast-paced stuff, even if it's not my favorite. It is at least easy to read. So DC Comics decided to come out with their DC Finest line. And the first one they came out with was Batman Year 1 and Year 2. I had not read Batman Year 1 in a while. I have both these books in other collections even still. I actually have a leather-bound version of Year 1. So I wasn't like that thrilled with them coming out with the Batman version of this because I already had it. And the first three came out was this Wonder Woman, which was Gail Simone's start to her run, another omnibus I had. And then Superman's very like old school Golden Age stuff. So you got kind of a different grouping of where these characters came from. You got Gail Simone from Modern, which is actually really excellent. I do love that run as well. You got Batman from the 80s, which is kind of where Batman like became more darker and more iconic under Frank Miller. And then, of course, Superman from its original era. I started reading the Superman one. I love it. I mean, it's so fun. It really is a different era, and they just used to just be wacky fun in comics. And DC Comics stayed wacky fun all the way up through the 70s. They really didn't make that change until around the Crisis era. Now, how do these books compare to the Epic Collections? The Superman book is like 560 pages. It's very similar in size to the Epic Collections. It looks, I'd say, when I'm holding it up to the Star Wars Epic Collection that just came out, it's slightly thicker. I'd say most Marvel ones kind of peak at about 500 pages, so they added a little bit more in this one. But page quality is about the same. The cover quality is about the same as the current printed ones, and so it does provide a good thing for this. Now, the only question mark is whether DC is going to stick with this as Marvel has, and they have announced a lot of them. We got a Aquaman one, a Batgirl one, which is going to cover Batgirl Volume 1, and of course, which is the Cassandra Cain version of things, which is great because I actually had a lot of these in the first couple of trade volumes, and don't have those now, and those are getting really hard to find at this point. Then it's going to get into the Killing Joke and other stories. So this is Batman stuff that's been reprinted recently in the Dark Knight Detective series. These Catwoman ones have been collected before. Doom Patrol's been collected before. So they really are leaning into stuff that like already has been collected, which is kind of unfortunate because it'd be nice to get some stuff that is on the newer side and a little different. Unfortunately, they're just kind of recycling stuff, which is what DC typically does with their collections. Now, because of that, it worries me again, like for the longevity of this, because when they get into the uncollected stuff, that stuff is usually the less iconic stuff that doesn't sell quite as well. So I'm hoping that they do see it through so that they can collect these whole lines. Otherwise, this is going to be just another failed experiment from DC. But as of right now, the 3 books that I've got are exactly what I wanted. This is the size of it is perfect to hold, and that's my one complaint about omnibuses is that they're way too big, that they're unwieldy, that you really can't hold them up to read. And this is about the perfect size of a collection, just like the Epic Collections. Quality's about the same. Print quality looks about the same as Marvel, and so they are looking like they're doing a nice competition here. So DC, please keep this going, and of course support these because this is the type of stuff, this is the old stuff that we need them to realize this is the stuff that like we like out of comics, and this is the type of stuff you need to produce. You need to get back on track. Maybe they'll learn at some point instead of just doubling down on what they're doing these days in all the modern books. So good stuff. As a comparison, I think it does hold up very well to Marvel Comics and the Marvel Epic Collections, and I am enjoying it so far. Leave a comment down below with what you think, my friends. Hit the like and subscribe button. Join us here, and please check out our Emerald Array graphic novel. If you love classic comics, I guarantee you're going to love this. Take a chance on us today. Grab this book as we are crowdfunding this, and the line art just got done with it, so we are finishing the last third on colors right now. And thank you guys so much for the tremendous support so far. It's in the description below. We'll be back soon.